Hi, I'm Dara Dietz, and today we're here in my kitchen and we are going to set an herbal extract. This requires a mix of herbs that you want to set. This is a 4-ounce bag of what we call the pancreas support aid. Excellent support for low blood sugar or high blood sugar issues. A quart canning jar for a 4-ounce bottle. 4-ounce dry kit, or a half-gallon jar if you get the 8-ounce kit. It's about a pound of herb per gallon that you set to make a gallon jar. So a pound of herb per gallon would set you about a gallon of herb. And then the 80 proof vodka. This is just the one we currently use. Any 80 proof vodka will do. A marker and either your label from the dry kit or masking tape, anything to put on the jar to label and date it. And of course, a blender. Your regular small little blenders work just fine, but this one is my favorite and it's the one I use here. Okay, the process is very simple. Setting tinctures is not rocket science. It's a very simple process. We're going to put the herbs in the blender, add the grain alcohol, then put them in the jar and get a 60-40 split. 60% sediment, 40% liquid sitting on top. So the first step is to open the herb mix. And like I said, 4 ounces normally sets about a 32-ounce canning jar. And you want to add just enough vodka so that they stand up and they start to float a bit. Enough just so you can spin it well. Okay, that is pretty good. Then we're just going to take and add this in the canning jar. Then we pour a little more of the vodka into the blender. And this is just to clean it out. Okay. That pulls the excess from the sides. Then, because we know we had 4 ounces here, just go ahead and top it to the very top. And you put your lid on. You can pull the label off of your bag, and if it's not a fresh label, then just go ahead and cut it off and use your tape to put it on. This one, of course, we just put the label on so it was easy to get it off. And you just add that to your container. And on some of the formulas that would have additional ingredients, they would be written on the label. One would be like the digestive tonic. That one you would be adding essential oil, peppermint oil at the end. And it comes with a little jar. Just tape that to the top of the canning jar and then follow the instructions on the label after the setting is finished. Okay, then you're going to just write the day's date on it. And that is basically all that is involved in setting an herbal extract. It takes a little while for it to settle. And when it settles, this split that we see here coming up, as the herb settles down, this will get bigger and there will be more of a split. I am thinking this, oh no, it's settling. Okay, you want to come in and shake it once a day. Just pick it up and do this to it once or twice a day. That will be fine. If you miss a day, not a big deal. What the shaking is for is to keep the sediment from clumping so that it continues to have good circulation of the alcohol through the fibers. So you just shake it each day just to break up anything that's trying to clump in it. That is setting an herbal extract. Okay, here is a mixed pancreas aid that has been setting for a while. We're going to squeeze this off in just a little bit. But you'll see that there's a nice split here on the back, the sediment on the bottom, the herbal or the liquid sitting on top. And this one has been sitting for 2 or 3 months now. It was set on in January 11 of this year, of 19. So this one is definitely ready to be squeezed off. When you set an herbal extract, you want to set on the new moon and squeeze off on the full moon if you're going to do it really, really tight. There is a pull in nature with the moon cycles where it will pull the chemistry out and very effectively hold it in the grain alcohol. Farmers and all this have been planting to the moons and all this for centuries, since the beginning of time. That said, you do not have to set on the new moon when there is no moon and squeeze off on the full moon. You can put it in the alcohol anytime, but you want 1 moon cycle in there minimum. We usually let our tincture set for at least 3 months. That will get you the strongest, best. It doesn't need to be squeezed off even after 3 months. You can leave them setting for 6, 8, 10 months, whatever, until you're ready for it. But 1 month minimum. And if you're going to squeeze it off after 1 month, you would want to do what we would call fast tracking it. And that is when you go in after 5 or 6 days when the alcohol has had the opportunity to soften all the fibers. You go in again with a hand blender and you just blend it, and it will be like mud. That it's just going to completely pulverize all the seeds and roots and everything, because everything will be so soft that even the hardest seed you can put your thumbnail through now. Then it's ready to go in with the hand blender, blend it again, and that's called double blending. You blend that, and then of course you're shaking it every day, 2 or 3 times a day. This is when you're fast tracking it so that you can squeeze it off after just 30 days, after just 1 moon cycle. So you would go in and then you can reblend it just before you go to squeeze it off. When you're ready and it's the end of the cycle and you're ready to squeeze it, go back in with a blender 1 more time, or toss it into the blender again, whiz it up, and then pour it through your cloth, which we will demonstrate momentarily. That would be fast tracking it when you need it very quickly. That is everything that you need to know for setting herbal extracts. All right, now we're going to squeeze off a tincture. This is what we need for squeezing off. You want a wire mesh strainer. I like this one. It's got real tight weave on it, but it allows the liquid to flow through well. A bowl, your tincture that has been setting for at least a month, hopefully 3 months. I like my little collector color jars, or an amber jar, and some sort of funnel. All right, what we're going to do is set the strainer in the bowl and line, what we call this squeeze off cloth. It's like a light weave mold. It's cotton weave material. It's a good idea just to loosen it up just before you're ready to pour it. That way you don't end up with a big plop on the bottom. So kind of shake it up a bit, get the lid off, and then you just pour it. And that worked pretty well. Got emptied. Without shaking it up, you would have had a big glop in the bottom, holding a lot of the herb in there. Alright, once that is in there, you pull the edges up and you make a ball out of it, and the liquid, you can do quite a bit with your hands, but the press is just wonderful. Nothing beats having a press to finish this off. There's quite a bit of good nutrients in there still. And we'll take this into the back room and press it. But if you don't have a press and you've got a man around with really strong hands, which mine are not, you can get out another ounce or so out of this. But that's all I can do. I'm not gonna kill my hands on that. Okay. All right. And that is what we got out of a 32-ounce canning jar. You would then just take your funnel and put it in and pour that into your containers. I'm not going to be storing it in one of these, so that would just be for demonstration. And that is what's involved in squeezing it off. If you have any questions or there's anything that we can answer on this, please let us know. This is not rocket science. You want to store this in a dark amber jar or a colored jar. That is about the only thing that will destroy a tincture is direct sunlight. So make sure that it's stored in a dark jar, and then it will be good for 100 years or better. Tinctures do not go bad. The alcohol preserves them indefinitely. If you have any questions or if there's anything I can help you with, do let me know. My email is mail@healmarketplace.com. And if you enjoy these, please subscribe to us.